Hello everyone, welcome back to the another lecture of this course. And in this lecture, we will discuss the semiconductor types. The contents of this lecture are intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor, N-type semiconductor, P-type semiconductor, energy band diagrams for extrinsic semiconductors, and mass action law. So we will discuss all these topics one by one. Intrinsic semiconductor. Semiconductors are of two types, intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductor is the purest form of semiconductor. So semiconductor elements are silicon, germanium, which are widely used for making the semiconductor devices. And there are a number of processes to purify these elements before use. And these diagrams show the crystal structures for intrinsic semiconductor at different temperatures. This one is for when temperature is at 0 Kelvin, and this crystal structure is for when temperature is at 300 Kelvin. So at 0 Kelvin, the silicon atoms are bonded by using covalent bond, or electrons are shared to each other like this. In case of silicon or semiconductor elements, there are 4 valence electrons. So in case of silicon, there are 4 electrons. These are valence band electrons. So one atom is bound to another atom by the sharing of the electrons like this, and here and here. So at room temperature, there is no free charge carrier in this crystal structures. It means there is no current conduction at 0 Kelvin temperature. So current conduction is possible if we increase the temperature. So this crystal structure is showing the intrinsic semiconductor at 300 Kelvin. So when we are increasing the temperature, then covalent bond will be break. Here the covalent band is shown here. So free electron, the free electron is here, this electron is freed from here, and the sharing of these two electrons are break here. So at high temperature, the free electrons will be there, and these free electrons are responsible for current conduction. So for electronic devices, we require current conduction. So intrinsic semiconductor material can be used for making the electronic devices by creating a large number of free electrons. So it is possible when we increase the temperature. Another way for increasing the number of charge carriers is adding some impurity atom. Another type of semiconductor material is extrinsic semiconductor material. It is called impure semiconductor material because impurity atoms are added here. So impurity atoms are added in intrinsic semiconductor material because intrinsic semiconductor material is the purest form of silicon material or germanium material or semiconductor material. So impurity atoms are added in intrinsic semiconductor material, then it is called extrinsic semiconductor material, and the added impurity atoms are called dopants. So it is responsible for increasing the number of charge carrier in a crystal structure of semiconductor material, and it is responsible for large current conduction in an electronic device or circuit. And the process for adding the impurity atom in intrinsic semiconductor material is called doping process. And dopants may be two types. It may be N-type dopants or P-type dopants or donor type dopants or acceptor type dopants. So basis on these dopants, there are two types of extrinsic semiconductor materials, and these are N-type and P-type materials. N-type semiconductor. So in case of N-type semiconductor material, the N-type dopants or pentavalent impurity atoms. Pentavalent impurity atoms are the atoms which has the 5 electrons in their last orbit. And examples of pentavalent impurity atoms are phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. And these pentavalent impurity atoms are also called donor atoms. So N-type dopants or donor atoms or pentavalent impurity atoms are added into intrinsic semiconductor material. Then the new material is called N-type semiconductor material. And in this case, number of electrons are in large quantity. So charge carriers are increasing by adding impurity atoms in a crystal structure of semiconductor material. The crystal structure of N-type semiconductor is given here. Silicon atoms which has 4 valence electrons, phosphorus atom which has 5 electrons in their last orbit. So 4 electrons are making covalent bond while 5th electron is free to move in this crystal structure. So there are number of phosphorus atoms in a crystal structure. It means number of charge carriers, and these charge carriers are the electrons. So electrons are increasing in large quantity in case of N-type semiconductor material. So electrons are in majority and holes are in minority in N-type material. So holes are the vacant position of electrons. When any electrons is moving from one place to another place, then the vacant position is called the hole. So hole are the positive charge carriers and electrons are the negative charge carriers. P-type semiconductor. P-type semiconductor is the material when P-type dopant or acceptor dopant or trivalent impurity atoms which has the 3 electrons in their last shell are added into intrinsic semiconductor material. Then the new material is called P-type semiconductor material. The acceptor atoms or trivalent impurity atoms, the examples are boron, gallium, indium, aluminium. So there are 3 electrons in their last orbit. So crystal structure for P-type semiconductor is given here. Silicon atom and boron atom. Boron has 3 valence electrons and silicon has 4 valence electrons. It means one position is vacant here because there is no electron. So it is a hole. So this hole is free to move in this crystal structure. So in case of P-type semiconductor material, the holes are in majority and electrons are in minority. And in case of P-type semiconductor material, the current is due to the flow of holes, or the current is the hole current. Energy band diagrams for extrinsic semiconductor. So there are two types of extrinsic semiconductor materials, and these are N-type and P-type materials. So when energy is provided to semiconductor, then few covalent bonds break and free electrons are generated, while reduces the level of forbidden energy gap. The energy band diagrams for N-type material and P-type materials are given here. This one is for N-type material and this diagram shows P-type material energy band diagram. Forbidden energy gap, that is approximately equal to 1 electron volt in case of semiconductor material. So in case of N-type material, where electrons are in majority and holes are in minority, it means the free charge carriers, these are electrons, are available in large quantity. It means the Fermi level, or that is called donor energy level, it is shifted towards conduction band. In case of intrinsic semiconductor material, this energy level is called Fermi level, and it is the just midway of conduction band and valence band. But in case of n-type material, the Fermi level is shifted towards conduction band because number of electrons are generated in case of n-type material, and electrons are freely moved in the crystal structure of n-type material. It means number of electrons are in conduction band. While in case of p-type material, the Fermi level is close to valence band because in case of p-type material number of holes are there. The holes are staying in valence band. So it means the acceptor energy level is close to valence band. And now the current conduction is due to the flow of these holes. The holes are the vacant position of electrons. Mass action law. Mass action law shows the relation between the concentrations of electrons and holes in a semiconductor material. The mass action law equation is N dot P equal to Ni dot Pi. Here N is the concentration of electrons, P is the concentration of holes. Ni and Pi, these are the concentrations for electrons and for holes. It means in case of intrinsic semiconductor material where holes and electrons both are in same quantity, it means Ni equal to Pi or N dot P equal to Ni. That is the mass action law in case of intrinsic semiconductor material. But for n-type material, the mass action law is Nn Pn equal to Ni square. Nn is the concentration of electrons in n-type material. Pn is the concentration of holes in n-type material. So electrons are in majority and holes are in minority in case of n-type material. And electrons are the donor atoms or Nd, capital Nd. It is showing concentration of donor atoms. So Nn is just equal to Nd. It means minority charge concentration or hole concentration in case of n-type material is Ni square divided by Nd. Similarly for p-type material, in p-type material holes are in majority and electrons are in minority. It means Np into Pp equal to Ni square. And here Pp is the Na. Na is the concentration of acceptor because number of acceptor atoms are there in case of p-type material. So concentration of electrons in case of p-type material is, this one is Np. Np equal to Ni square divided by Na.